Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the Korean War and civil rights. And we're fortunate to have with us to talk about the war in Korea and the impact that civil rights had not only upon this war but upon American society soon after the war is Dr. CKimbrough, a longtime activist in the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Dr. Kimbrough, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
It's my privilege to be here with you, Dr. Haney.
And to tell you how delighted, Dr. Kimbrough, we are to have you here this morning. As we said earlier, that you are a longtime activist in the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. And I think that if there is an individual who is a representative of the association in Nashville, Tennessee, you would certainly be that individual. And so we're certainly happy to have you here and to talk about a topic that we know that you're familiar with, and that is civil rights, because you've been involved in this whole struggle of improving the condition of the African American for the longest. But before we get into the Korean War and civil rights, Dr. Kimbrough, let's have you to give our audience some information about your background, your education, and some of the things that led to this passion that you have for the rights of the African American.
Well, Dr. Haney, I come from Giles County, which has Pulaski as its county seat, the home of the KKK. And with me, I guess the passion is kind of ingrained. Not that I knew directly or saw activities of the KKK, but I guess when you have that kind of organization, when you even learn about it later in life, you recognize that you grew up or were growing up in an area that survival of black people was a priority. You didn't understand why you were told to do certain things, certain ways, not to say certain things, disregard certain behavioral pattern of white folk, for instance, but it becomes quite clear that your parents and the people that you grew up around, especially teachers, parents, preachers and teachers, whatever, they were guiding you around some of the obstacles that they knew existed for black people. I had no, I never asked why I rode a horse 3 or 4 miles and then walked a couple of miles to keep up with the larger children. I never understood until I later in life. You know, Mom just put you on a horse and you start riding, and they let you know that now you should be able to keep up, and you don't question that, and you just go ahead and do it. And in fact, I didn't ever ask why you had to stay out of school 2 or 3 days and go to school 2 or 3 days to do farm chores in the absence of getting an education. While you saw white children go to school each day of the week just as a matter of habit.
And so growing up in Pulaski, Tennessee really left a real impression on you in reference to how the race situation in a real sense is sort of an ingrained kind of thing in the community in which you grew up. Would that be a characterization of what you're saying here?
Yes, for black people, when I grew up, we're talking about in the 30s and 40s, get an 8th grade education. You know, it'd be like getting a BS or a master's degree now. You know, you treasure that because there was no really, not that much emphasis, not from my family. And I said that my family was not an unusual family. There were some people that I know they encourage you to stay in school and so forth. But being on the farm, when it's around 7th, 8th grade, you didn't want to go to school, you know.
That was just about the end of school for you.
That was about the end of school for you.
Okay, and of course, we're nearing our first commercial break here, Dr. Kimbrough. And when we come back, we'll talk about some of your earlier educational accomplishments and going off to a Tuskegee Institute and some of the things in reference to that and the impact that had upon you and your outlook dealing with this whole issue of race.
Right.
And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. The topic is the Korean